Well, good afternoon, and I nearly said thanks for passing by, but who does that remind me of? Yeah, I'll start again. Good afternoon everyone, and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now today I thought we'd just have a look at how some of the frags are getting on, because it's the time of year when they should be growing well, and a little bit early for a lot of them to show spikes, but we'll see what we've got, and we'll just have a look at a few. Well, here we have a Phragmipedium Vorenus, which is a cross between Warsawickia and Sargentianum, and it's got two nice growths on it, and I do believe it's only tiny. There's another one coming up right there. Now these can get very, very big. They can get 5-6 feet tall, and then you can't take them to the shows because you can't fit them in a car. But they are a beautiful plant with a beautiful big flower on. That, I think somewhere on the web I've shown them. But that's Fragmipedium Vorenus. Oh, I've just switched the fan off. I wonder what they're making all that noise. But this plant has been a real bugbear to me over the years. It looks fine now, but when I first got it, it was given to me by a friend of mine, and it's a Phragmipedium Granberry macrochillum, which is like a grande but a little bit bigger with very, very long petals. When I got this off him, it started growing white, pure white leaves. Didn't look like they'd been sucked by any insects at all, just no colour in them whatsoever. So I rang him up and told him, and he said, well, throw it away. So I thought, no, I'll try and grow it and see if we can grow it out. Anyhow, we've got to this stage now over at least 3-4 years, and there's just a few little marks on the leaves now, as you can see, if I can show them here. Just a little few marks there. Last year's growth had more marks on it, but all the white, thankfully, has gone. So that's not doing too bad. That's Phragmipedium grande macrochillum. Here we have a Phragmipedium Warsawickianum. You know, some people call them Popo eyes, some people call them Humboldti eyes, but there's slightly difference in between them, and these leaves are a little strap-like, you know, compared to Humboldti eye. But you know, to the people who's been keeping these plants a long time, it's still a Warsawickianum, no matter what the RHS say. You can see the old growth there, with the floppy leaves dying off. And then we have the new growth. I shall turn round and show you. There's the new growth with another new growth coming up there. Some people may say it's overpotted, but although it probably was initially, you know, it's spreading out eventually. So they do grab hold of the compost, and then they start growing, and once they start growing, well, they're on their way, you can't stop them. Another new leaf coming up there in the middle. This hasn't flowered yet, so I'm hopeful it will shortly. So that's another Phragmipedium. This is the Phragmipedium I bought at the show last Saturday. Phragmipedium cardinale, been repotted, watered twice, and I'm hoping it'll come a little bit floppy at the moment, so it'll have to get used to the conditions before anything happens. That's Phragmipedium cardinale, absolutely beautiful flowers on these. Now this one is Phragmipedium Ruby Slippers, a cross between PCI and Caudatum. Now PCI is the one that grows very, very wet. Caudatum is the one that doesn't grow as wet as the other frags. So, you know, you tell me how to water this one. Anyhow, I just treat it the same as all my other plants, so it'll either live or die, but it's 10 to 1 they're going to be okay. But this is, it's got a spike on top, but the spike is just, it hasn't aborted, it's just stood still doing nothing. And I wonder if that's because at the other side, which is just growing, are 2 new growths, one there and one there. And I'm just wondering if they're using all the energy. In fact, there's 2 growths there stuck together. So that's 3 growths on it. Anyhow, we'll just have to see how that goes, because these as well are an absolutely gorgeous flower. No sign of flowering yet, but I treat all my Phragmipediums the same way, as you probably all know. I water them 2 or 3 times a week. In warmer weather I water them every day. And they all get fed the same. Come November it'll get a teaspoonful of fish blood and bone sprinkled over the top. And then it'll get watered, and then it won't get fed again until the following May. So that's Phragmipedium grande. This is a Phragmipedium humilia arias, which is a cross between Cavaccii and what is it, Slimii, I think, yeah. Now this has been growing very well, but suddenly this appears, and I'm sure we've all had it. And what it is, I have no idea. It's just on that one leaf, and there's another leaf coming up in the middle with no marks on. So what is that? I don't know. Definitely not spider mite, because there's nothing on the back. So if anybody knows what that could be, I would be more than interested to find out. Well, the last plant, one of the plants I showed you to begin with was the last Vorenus, Sargentianum cross Cavaccii. And this is another one, and it just shows you how big they can get, these. And this is sort of half grown, doing very, very nicely. Plenty of growth on it, plenty happening in the middle. I'm expecting this to flower shortly, and more growth around the back there. I think it's got 3 growths on this and a little one coming up. But they're really nice. Nice plant indeed. Phragmipedium last Vorenus. And there they are, side by side. Now I know I've shown you this one before, this RJQ, but it's going mad as far as blooming is concerned. That's the 3rd flower it's had on. There are, let's see, another bud there, another bud there. If I turn it round, the spike has branched. And we've got another 2 buds on here facing the opposite direction. So I'm right pleased about that. I mean, that'll be beautiful if I can get them all out together, but up to now I've only had them with 1 flower on. Well, no, I've had it with 2 on, but no more than 2. But that's very interesting, that, just to see how it goes. Now that is Phragmipedium Robert Jan Quenny. Well, before I leave you, I'll just show you this Cavaccii. See how the spike's going on. Still growing up nice and straight. The bud's just showing through there. Very, very hairy bud. Might take another 2 months before the bud's fully out, and it'll swell up like as big as a grape, and be very, very hairy, like it's covered in a fur coat. So that's the last one I'm going to show you today. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all my subscribers, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.